What's up, guys? Good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. We're back, and what a week we have ahead of us. Not a week, not anymore. It's like 3 days, 2 days, and we're back at home against Inter. Match preview tomorrow, very big game. I'm so excited for it. But in the meantime, it's been a few days, guys. I didn't go live these days because I was preparing a few exams. I had a macroeconomics exam yesterday, and I have a history of political thought exam tomorrow. So I was a bit busy with university, but I'm back. I'm back with a bang, and I want to speak about this Joshua Zirkzee transfer rumors because I read them in quite a lot of pages. I can definitely see this happening. Or can I say, instead of definitely see this happening, I can definitely sense that he's a name that Gasperini will make to the board this winter. Absolutely, I can count on it. And I want to talk about it because you know me, especially those of you guys that have been following me when Zirkzee was playing for Bologna. You know that I absolutely love players like him. I absolutely rate him. I think he's already proven to be able to tear this league apart. We're going to speak about it very in detail, but you know, you will remember that I'm a very big Zirkzee guy. I would be very in favor for this signing, whether it's a loan move, of course, or a deal, a permanent deal. It depends on many factors, but I want to know what everyone thinks because these are the transfer rumors that get me excited, and these are the transfer rumors that if you complete this winter, you can have a good chance at pushing for that top four, maybe even going far in the Europa League and all the rest of our objectives. So let me know what you think about this. Of course, Leon Bailey back training with the group. Roar! The Lion is back. The Lion is back from hibernation, my friends. He's gonna be absolutely massive. I posted a story on Instagram. Follow Roma Theory on Instagram down there below, bottom right. He's got the keys to our season. I am so convinced about this statement. Much of what we can achieve this season depends on the winter transfer session and Leon Bailey himself. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to be back for Saturday's game. I don't think. I think he'll be on the bench. But forget the Inter game. Even next Thursday against Victoria Plzen or next weekend against Sassuolo, he can kill the season for us in a good way. So that's another element that we will speak about today. But first of all, guys, is everyone excited for Saturday's game? We will speak about the game tomorrow, but I just want to get the initial vibes because I don't think this is not a normal Roma Inter game. We've gone through a lot of Roma Inter games. We've lost many, we've won a few. But this is different because this is a game against Inter at home when first in the table. Like when was the last time we came to this game with those circumstances? If the adrenaline isn't pumping in you, make sure it is getting pumped for Saturday because oh my days, it's such a big game. Like we're gonna speak about it tomorrow in more detail, but we're like, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh well, it's another Roma Inter, we've got a very bad record, we're gonna lose again. Oh, okay, like forget about the result. Just the way this game presents to you is what we live for. A game at home during the autumn period against Inter after the break. So you've got all that anticipation building up for 2 weeks now. And you're top of the league. So I just want to throw it out there. What happens if we win? Like, can we imagine? I can't. Because when was the last time we experienced such a game? Anyways, I'm very excited. We're going to speak about it tomorrow. And of course, we'll be there on Saturday evening. Very excited. But look, if you haven't already, do it the like button down below. Click the red button, hype points, thumbs up. All that beauty would be great. Let's speak about Zirkzee because I've read this name on a lot of sources. By the way, pop your questions in the chat if you've got questions about anything related about Roma or not. Pop them in the chat and we'll go through them in a second. Zirkzee. Now, I read us linked with him on several different pages. I must say, neither Fabrizio Romano, neither Gianluca Di Marzio have spoken about him, but I wouldn't classify this as fake news because number one, this is not the period where Fabrizio Romano and company shine. You know, this is probably their hibernation period. So if Fabrizio Romano doesn't say anything in autumn, in December, in October, November, in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. He's on holiday. The guy barely ever slept for the past 3 months. Let him hibernate a bit. So it's not the fact that big sources haven't spoken about this which worries me. Whether this is going to be confirmed or not, I'm convinced that his name is going to be a name that Gasperini will make to the board because he suits everything that Gasperini wants, placed in a scenario where both our strikers are playing absolutely shit. So we desperately need a left winger first of all. A left winger is the priority. Leon Bailey coming back, Leon Bailey getting injured again. I don't care. The left winger is a priority. It is. Because it had to be a priority in May and you managed to delay it to this winter. So if you don't get him this winter, you're acting diabolical. So the priority remains a left winger. Even if Bailey comes back and shines, that's the priority. Because I just feel that I don't want to jinx this, but something tells me that Bailey's injury prone. So I'm very happy that he's back, but I wouldn't place my hand on fire that he's back fit and ready to play every game until the end of the season. I just feel like we're going to get fucked again with him. Not anytime soon, hopefully, but also looking at his injury record, you know, he isn't somebody that can guarantee you every game. He's going to get injured again someday. Let's scratch our bows after having said that. But you get the point. We need certainties. So a left winger remains the priority. Another striker adding offensive threats in any sort of way would be the best thing we can do this winter. Adding offensive options, offensive abilities is probably one of the factors that can make us go far in all competitions. So I think us being linked with him makes sense. I think him in terms of profile is what Gasperini wants because he sets the play perfectly. He kind of is like ideally you have to look at this as he is the striker that Gasperini wants Dovbyk and Ferguson to be. Now, I already said how Ferguson has elements of the striker that Gasperini wants. He just needs to click, but he isn't clicking. I'm not going to repeat what I think of Dovbyk because I know that I'm going to sound repetitive, so I'm not. But long story short, I don't think Dovbyk can do what Gasperini wants. Full stop, I'm not going to open the Dovbyk parenthesis again. So, he is the striker that has the abilities, the footballing abilities that our manager wants to implement in our current strikers who are having difficulties in trying to complete. Because what he does, what Zirkzee does, he isn't only a box striker. Number one, if you put the ball in the box, Zirkzee scores. But number two, he does more than that because he's phenomenal outside of the box. So I think he is a perfect identikit of what we need as a striker this winter. I also think it fits in very well because I don't think he wants to be at Man United anymore, realistically speaking. I follow a bit of Premier League football. I barely never see him on the pitch. Like, he's never on the pitch. They've got so many options up front and he never gets picked. He gets picked for the last 10 minutes of a game. They've got Sesko, they've got a lot of options up front that kind of bench Zirkzee in every game. And adding on to this, he's got the knowledge and the past experience that he knows this league well and he can tear this league apart. So I think everything fulfills the criteria for the perfect striker when it comes to Zirkzee. I would absolutely rate it. I would absolutely love it. Gasperini would absolutely rate it and absolutely love it. So yeah, I mean, if we can exploit this chance and get a player like him this summer, it would be absolutely phenomenal. Now, again, I don't think we will have the means to buy him permanently. Remember, this winter is the last, technically, if everything goes to plan, is the last transfer session where we will be hassled by FFP. After I don't know how long, it technically should be the last session where FFP basically restricts us from buying players. So I'm not sure if this winter, we will have the financial means of buying him permanently. But I think you can easily kind of set down a loan option with certain criteria to follow, and if he fulfills them this summer, then you can aim at buying him permanently. Last but not least, salary is not that big, so the salary won't be an issue because his salary is completely in line with the other Roma players, apart of course from the guys who are in the most. By the way, speaking about renewals of contract, because this summer a lot of players will have a contract running out. I look at Dybala, I look at Pellegrini, I look at El Shaarawy. I think Pellegrini and El Shaarawy aren't staying. I think Pellegrini and El Shaarawy won't get a contract extension. I said this already. The club has made it very clear that they don't want to extend Pellegrini's contract. Pellegrini and Gasperini will kind of try their best to get the best out of each other to maybe convince the board. But Pellegrini and El Shaarawy, as of the 16th of October, are not getting a contract extension. Dybala, in my opinion, it depends because you know something that I wouldn't cross with Dybala, that I wouldn't underestimate, is the fact that he's becoming a dad very soon. Now that's something that, trust me, is something that Roma will take in consideration when potentially offering him a new contract. Because, a player, especially who's becoming a father for the first time. Now, I follow podcasts of players sometimes, and I was listening also to practice a bit of my Spanish. I think it was last year I was listening to a podcast between Dybala and his wife. And they were speaking about how it wasn't easy for them, like how they really want to become parents, but it's not easy for them to become parents. So in this situation where they now are becoming parents of a little girl in a few months, both him and his wife will want stability. And in these situations, I can guarantee you that at least another 1-year contract Roma will offer, because Roma helps these players out also on a human level. So I think the fact that Dybala is becoming a father very soon will play a big part in this. However, there's a very big however here. He needs to lower his salary. And I hope that he understands this himself, because the situation is already unsustainable. It's no longer sustainable. We can no longer pay 9 million for a player who plays not even a third of the games of a season. Like, I have come after years of acknowledgement that it's not sustainable anymore. It's not. If Dybala lowers his salary, yes, extend him. If he doesn't accept to lower his salary, he needs to go. Because it's no longer sustainable. I already said this. But the fact that he's becoming a father soon will be something that Roma will consider. They will probably extend each other for 1 more season and then speak after the end of, close to the end of that year. They will probably, Dybala is not the player that would cause a problem over a reduction in salary. Also because I feel like he knows this himself. Like, he knows it himself that he's not as reliable anymore. He knows it. That he can't guarantee consistency anymore. So I think he will come to the conclusion himself that in order to stay here, which he apparently wants to as long as possible, but he will need a salary reduction because yes, he's our best player, but he plays a third of the games, but not even like a quarter of the games available. So yes, Roma love him, and yes, there is gonna be this mutual acceptance to come towards each other, but he needs to help us out and reduce that salary, because 9 million euros for a player who plays one quarter, maybe max a third of games each season, is no longer sustainable. So if he decides to lower it, absolutely, like, he will. I will never see Dybala as a problem, never. But you can definitely categorize the situation as sustainable and unsustainable. So Dybala will forever be an extra, a tool that we can use, yes, but that also comes with a reduction of his wages. So that's another element. But yeah, look, I think this winter will say a lot. It will, because as I always say, we're playing so well now without a lot of key components, without a fit Dybala, without having seen Bailey for not even a minute, and with a winter transfer session ahead of us. If you can manage to keep Bailey as healthy as possible, Dybala as healthy as possible, we know that that is impossible, as durable as possible, use him well in games, and you use a good transfer session well, then you can kind of, arm yourself up, and you can challenge for your objectives at the end of the season. With a good transfer session in January, and with a good Bailey and a fit who can guarantee you a bit of games Dybala, then yeah, we can aim for top 4. Otherwise, I still think it's hard. But let's read a few comments. Is Italy going to the World Cup? Mate, I would dare to say that I hope that we go to the World Cup, because I would like to see a World Cup. Which it's actually quite crazy, but it's the reality, guys. Like, I'm 20 years old. I've only seen one World Cup. I mean, technically I was born in 2006, but I was 1 year old. Do we count that? No, we don't. I only saw the 2014 World Cup. And back then, I hated football, and I believe we got out of the group stages against Costa Rica. Like, I have never properly sat down and enjoyed a World Cup with my country playing in it, which is absolutely diabolical as a statement, but it's the truth. So I would like, as a life objective, I would also like to hope that this summer, me and my friends can sit down and cheer for our country. If that's possible, we would love that. But yeah, I hope. I mean, playoffs stink. I will be honest with you. The playoffs stink as hell. They stink as absolute hell. And the fact that we might be playing Sweden again stinks even more. But come on, come on. Sweden lost at home to Kosovo. Like, we're not good. We're not good. We're not a good national team. But come on. Like, surely we'll get to the World Cup. Like, surely. I pray that it will happen. It would be so embarrassing not to go. It would be very embarrassing not to go. Like, not even very embarrassing. It would be extremely embarrassing not to go. So I hope... I like to be positive and say yes, but the playoffs do stink. But look, we did our job in this little international break. You see, the problem here is that people hype players too much. Retegui played great. We played great, but people need to stop hyping players up after they beat Estonia and Israel. Like, I would genuinely be able to score against those countries as well. That's my point. Like, yeah, we played great, but I'm seeing far too much excitement. You beat Estonia and Israel, who I believe neither of the two have ever been to a World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there's too excitement around the situation, which, to be honest with you, I don't find exciting at all. I don't find exciting at all. I find it depressing that people are so happy over a win over Israel or Estonia. Like, it's not. We're Italy. We're Italy. Like, our national team has got a sort of prestige. So people who celebrate us going to the playoffs, of course, it could have gone way worse, but it's not something to celebrate. It really isn't. This national team lacks. This national team lacks talent. I said this already. This national team lacks pure talent, because the players are good, but they're all constructed players. They're not players who Totti, Pirlo, Del Piero. These are natural talents who you put in a rectangle and they win you the games by themselves. Retegui played great. You know what I think of Retegui. I think great player, played a great international break. But can he do that if we play against England, or if we play against Portugal, or if we play against Spain? I don't think he can. So the thing with our national team is that it lacks talent. There isn't a player that you go, this guy will bring us to the World Cup, apart from the goalkeeper. But goalkeepers count a lot, but not more than that much. That's the way I see it. There's a lack of talent in Italy. There's a lack of talent discovery in Italy. And part of this is, as I already repeated once, because we don't develop our youth sectors and youth teams much. A Serie A team would much rather spend 30 million on a foreign player than grow a team from its own background or backyard for free. It would, because of the entire monetary policies and everything. And that will have repercussions. But we'll see. Hopefully we will. When are the playoffs, by the way? It's 2 games, right? I still haven't looked at the rules much. I believe it's like a semi-final and a final. It's risky. Like, it is risky, but hopefully I'd like to think that we are going to go. With Zirkzee, we could make top 4 and a decent push at Europa League. Mark my words, says Piñaca. If we get Zirkzee, we'll play him at cam, because no way we'll play at striker. Well, I wouldn't say no way he wouldn't play as striker. Remember, we're in a situation in which both our strikers are not unchangeable. Like, if a Zirkzee comes in and dethrones both of them will sit on the bench. Our strikers right now are not untouchable. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe we need somebody who can not necessarily dethrone them, but also get them clicking. When does the market close? Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know when it opens, to be honest. So much online this weekend. He will play like Højlund, great in Serie A, moves to Man United and is mid. Yeah, that's the other pattern that hopefully will also happen to us if we sign him. Who do you want to start for a striker? It sounds like Dovbyk is favoured. Yeah, Dovbyk as of now is definitely favoured over Ferguson. I agree. But we'll speak about the game tomorrow. Do you think we have a bigger chance than Como of landing Zirkzee, as they seem also to be interested and have more money? If he's more ambitious, then yes. If he's ambitious, he chooses us over Como, which are a very ambitious club, but they're not more ambitious than us. Let's clear a few points. What do you think of sacrificing Kone to PSG for 60 million to fulfill her FFP obligations? Mate, it's gonna happen. This summer we're selling Kone, so prepare for it. Enjoy him as much as possible, because we're selling 100%. We're 100% selling him this summer. 100%, guys. There's no way we keep him, especially if he keeps grasping the attention from other nations and his own nation with the national team. When did you start liking football? I used to hate football. I used to like football when one of my friends dragged me into the world. But I used to absolutely detest football when I was growing up. Absolutely detest it, guys. You have no idea. I detested this game up until I was like 6 years old. Then I had this friend who was like, come play. Because I hated football. I absolutely hated playing it and watching it. And then one day, one of my friends was like, we were like 6 years old doing like playtime at school, and he goes, "Come and play," and that's the day the world changed. Hi Emilio, how are you doing? Have you thought about the commercial loss if Dybala leaves? Does he not bring in more than he costs? That's a good point, but I'm not sure. You have to ask somebody. I'm not sure if he does, if the costs but overall, even if he does fulfill the costs, we're so in red that even if he does move those costs into green, we still have like 33 boxes where we're in deficit. So if there's any chance to get money and to save money, Roma will do it because we're in a desperate financial position. That's my point, you know? Solis of Club Bruges is a pretty good winger that we can get, says Yassin. I'm from Argentina. Italy is getting better step by steps. Shout out Argentina, mate. I love Argentina. I want to come to Argentina so badly, like very badly. I want to go to Patagonia. Ooh, exciting. I really want to go to South America, guys. Really, really, really want to go there. It's like my dream holiday. I said this already, but I really want to go and experience Argentinian culture, Brazilian culture, that Latino culture. Simo Steps to Grow YouTube channel. I think number one, choose your thing and be original. That's the most important thing. Be original, because I think being original is better than doing something that maybe gets you more, but it's full of people that do it. So you have to kind of figure out what you want, what you want to be known for, what you want to be remembered for in a way. You need to find the originality in you, and then try and express it. And when you express it, you have to try and... The way I see this is, you have your base, and then you have your engines and your experiment, right? So you've got your base. Roma in English. That's my base. And then you've got engines, and then you have to separate your content in engines and experiments. So engines are the types of content that you know will go well, that you know people want to see. And then you have experiments, which is types of videos or types of content that you want to try new things that connect with your big niche, but that kind of makes you expand also on a relational point of view with the audience, right? So my example here is, sticking to what I do, my engine would be vlogs, stadium vlogs, travel vlogs following Roma in Nice or in Scotland, filming the experience. I know that that's my engine because I know that that will go well. Because I know that people want to see that. Because I know that people know me because of that. So I know that whatever I do connected with my engine will go well. But then I also have my experiments. I'll give you an example. Um, the football video that I filmed this summer with Alaya Pilgrim, that's an experiment. That's an experiment. And that's why that video doesn't have as much as views as one of my stadium vlogs would have. Because people don't expect that from me. Okay? But why do I do that? To expand and also kind of relation with people on a different point of view. Okay? But your experiments will not succeed in the same way as your engines, because experiments are made to fail, right? So the fact that that Alaya Pilgrim video doesn't have the same amount of views as the stadium vlog against Bilbao is completely normal to me. Because filming a football challenge is something that I never did, and it's something that people don't expect from me. Had would I have filmed a stadium vlog with Alaya Pilgrim, that video would have gotten easily 75,000 views instead of the 9,000 or the 10k, I can't remember, that the football challenge has. You see what I mean? I think the base when you want to start something on social media, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram Reels or anything, is that you have to find what you want to do. My advice is to be original, because I would rather do something original, but maybe with less subs, than something that everybody does, but can get more popular. And then expand into engines, experiments, content ideas that you want to form, and just hammer yourself and keep consistent, because consistency is key. Otherwise, it's hard. But anyways, I'm going to catch you tomorrow with the match preview of a very important game this Saturday against Inter. I'm so excited. I'm so effing excited. I'll catch you tomorrow. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. See you out.